Welcome back to another battle, everybody. Today we're playing Progressive Capitals on the Africa Advanced map. We're playing as the green player out of the 6th position. And we are here with our Tier List Tuesday series. It's the series on the channel where we take a look at every single map with progressive cards, balance books, sites, and capitals, and see how they, otherwise known as the meta settings, fog and blizzards obviously as well. And we see how they stack up against each other, and hopefully have a grand old time. So we again are playing as the green player of the 6th position. I've got a couple options here. I could lock myself down here. Red should go in Congo. That is, in my opinion, the best cap on both of the Africa maps. This map is 50 territories. The original Africa map is 37, so 50 as far as the advanced maps go is a considerably smaller increase. 13 territory increase, 11 increase with blizzards included. So this is 46 with blizzards or 4 blizzards. That makes it 7 larger than the classic map when blizzards are considered. And it's not much of a jump, right? There's a pretty substantial jump. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me. There's pretty substantial jumps for the Canada, Brazil especially, and Europe maps when they jump to the advanced modes or renditions of the maps. I don't feel like the same is very true for this Africa map, and I honestly think that that heavily works against it. Red cap's down here. In this case, even if you wanted to play for this bonus down here, you absolutely under no circumstances, even if somebody is capped on Tanzania, you cap on Congo here if you're the red player. It is one of a 2-point hold over the bottom of the board. These are double +3s at the bottom in Southern Africa and East Africa. And I believe actually the bonuses, the Africa map I don't think includes Europe or Asia Minor. It's just Africa, if I remember correctly. It might include some of that, honestly. I think it's just Africa, but even so, you still have that cut through down at the bottom of the board, and the bonuses are pretty much the same. Purple goes way up here, right next to my 6, no less. I think for me, the only position, because of where everyone is capped, is going to be this 3 here. So we're going to cap on this 3 in Arabia. Red quits immediately. They have already flagged. We are playing with neutral inactivity behavior, so that's why the flagging happened here, because we don't want these games to take an exorbitant amount of time. Now, I'm interested because he flagged, like maybe Purple getting 7 troops out of that final position will consider trying to play for the red cap here. White, for some reason, dumps all of his generation down here to move up through the middle +6. The bonuses on this board are very simple. There's 1 +4, that's the Horn of Africa. Everything else is a +3 or a +6. So Europe, Asia Minor, West Africa, East Africa, and Southern Africa are +3s. And then North Africa, Sahara, and Central Africa, more middle to the board there, are going to be your +6s if you're able to hold it. Very bizarre cap choice here by Purple with my 6 sitting next to him. And Black goes and rolls my 3. That's deserving of the question marks, because you're not going to get Red's cap here. And maybe your mindset, maybe, you know, that tells me Black is most likely capped on Tanzania, which begs the question. I believe whatever was on Zambia was a much cheaper card. Unless that was also 3. Maybe that was a 4. That might have been a 4, which I guess that makes more sense on the wraparound. But at that point, why try to even move this material out already? I'm not sure that makes much sense to me. I don't know why I'm the one getting hit here. Every player has hit me. What did I do? Watch Purple roll my 6, man. I would die laughing if that happened. We are getting absolutely manhandled right now. I'm going to play off my 6 to get these troops back to capital. And this will also help me take a little bit of Arabia. I don't anticipate the Purple player letting me hold much up here, to be completely honest. Every player ahead of me has hit me on this first turn. That is crazy. I'm not going to roll his capital. I'm just putting enough here so that we can escape appropriately. I don't care about that capital. I may even just sneak the bonus and see if Purple notices. That honestly isn't the worst idea, because I'll have a relatively safe capital, all things considered. And we've got a red buffer down at the bottom, so we could even defend the top. But I may as well try to take it. I don't think Purple will play good neighbor here, but worth a shot. We've got pathing off the cap to the left, pathing off of Yemen, down to the right with double red +3s. Red is going to be worth virtually nothing on this board, so these just act as a protective buffer for me. Didn't move my white or my 5 out of white's bonus yet, so they're not likely going to take that just yet. They'll probably take it on the next turn, in which case we'll hit purple. I'm interested. I imagine purple cuts through here and tries to break me. I don't think he'll skirt up around pink here. Pink's cap in Algeria. I also think black likely has the East Africa +3 at the bottom of the board. So what are my initial thoughts on Africa? Not well, initial for you guys, right? I'll reconvene at the end of the video with a view of the map. The biggest issue I have with both Africa maps, we've already rated the regular Africa map, and then in addition to that, also just this Africa Advanced map is simply, I just believe that there's so much strength in the bottom of the board here. Black is getting that +3. That's why they hit my 3 to start. There's so much strength in the bottom of the board, especially if you have one of the 2 cap spots here. Like, you are a 2-point block on anybody's entry down here, just simply if you hold Tanzania or Congo. And either of these territories can actually be a blizzard as well, which chokes up the board even more, allows you to have a double bonus hold down at the bottom. Pink did not realize that purple was behind him. That is part of the motivation behind that take. He almost certainly is going to break me here. No idea the motivation behind that play, other than I am almost certain purple is going to cut through me. Pink's just slapping material at that point. I already can tell you that maneuver, not fortifying that material back and continuing to roll it out, to me, tells me that this player is not the most skilled player in the world. The pink player, that is. Now, I am curious. I thought I would see purple by now. Alas, I do not. We'll let white take his bonus. Pick on a 17 here. He didn't need to break me. We did lose one on that purple hit over there. He doesn't have the bonus because Senegal is got a 5, red 5 in there. I thought purple would play for his bonus up top, but his cap is actually a very, very easy card block. Pink, meanwhile, playing relatively strong, and they could have tried to take the split bonus that they exist in. I feel like Pink mostly chose their capital because that's where they had material, and not because it's actually going to help them long term. So what I mean by that is, like, this is a split bonus. It's going to be very difficult to hold, especially if black puts pressure on him from below. And we'll get to see, does pink try to break me again? That's kind of my most curious question here, because at this point, black is holding a bonus. White will be holding a bonus on this next turn if they're not broken. Is pink going to just be bad neighbor to be bad neighbor? Or was he just rolling the material out because he knew it was going to get hit by purple anyway? I'm not really sure what the answer to that question is going to be. But, you know, maybe we pivot, try to play for the horn over here. I'm not sure that's going to be smart with black down in this area. And I also think black is likely going to end up with the red capital in due time. Probably wouldn't hurt to hit down here, but also these do act as buffers. So I don't really want to hit there unless I absolutely have to. So we'll see what pink does here. Almost certainly going to just start with 5 troops. But I think this map is, all things considered, relatively small, only a little bit larger than the classic map. Seems like pink is just going to attack with some additional material that they already have elsewhere. So it's going to be more curious what purple tries to do here. I would imagine this is the turn where purple's material, like if it's sitting on Chad in the middle, where it would come up and cut through me. That would be my anticipation. Comes off cap here. He may not break. He may just let me hold, which is kind of him. That is not a very strong capital, but that's his entire cap stack. If he splits to take the bonus on the left, we're going to go take his capital. But if he splits to break, then that's a little bit annoying. Yeah, that's a split to break. Leaves it as a 4 to make sure it hits. No. He's not defending his capital at all. He's not defending his capital at all. I can't. I can't in good nature play good nature here. Pink over there. All right. I'm sorry. It's a free cap. I can't pass up on a free capital. Purple shouldn't, or pink shouldn't be open to come take my 11 either. Maybe he's got pathing to come take the 10 up top, but in no world am I going to play good neighbor there if the guy's going to stack his troops on my border. And then, and he didn't break me, but also I know he doesn't have troops on cap. And because I know he doesn't have troops on cap, I can't in good conscience not go take the capital. And I got really good dice on that 4 as well. We only lost 1. Split the fortify. Even if I don't hold the bonus, we're going to be generating more to place on both caps this turn, which is good. And if purple bots, I mean, that makes my life a little bit easier. I don't like their capital, but anytime you got a player behind you like this, it's better to just nip the threat in the bud early. Now, black still has not acquired a second bonus down below, so it seems like he's slow taking some of that material, which is nice. Is this going to be a break by pink? No, pink went middle here into Chad. Fortifies back, whatever. Interested to see if purple continues playing after getting that break and losing their capital. I think they might. That looks like they're going to. I wonder if the 5 just slams the cap. Should break me, but yeah, there you go. Steps back into the bonus like that. And then stacks against me. I mean, that's not going to do much. Even with an early trade-in, he absolutely doesn't win this. A later trade-in, whatever. White is getting 8 as well. So white is not... The issue I have with white here is white has not added anything to this capital. If pink knew how free this white cap was, I would imagine they could even consider trying to take it. So the reason I retake, by the way, here is he's you know, I've gotten him out of this back spot. We're trying to kind of condense purple. He's eventually just going to be worth cards to somebody. And I think that pink may not kind of trifle with me again. I'm getting a better sense of pink's skill later on. I think that initial maneuver, again, was just to roll down the troops instead of trying to fortify them out because they thought purple might try to weasel up into the bonus up there. If he breaks me, it is what it is. If he's holding the +6, good for him. It's a split +6, so it's kind of a difficult position. But he's still only getting 5. So we got purple here, purple here. You know, I don't know what's in the horn, so I don't love that. I also don't know what's up here. I don't love that pink keeps fortifying. This is dangerous. This 5 fortifying here, like, I understand what he's trying to do. He's trying to make a play, either for an elimination on purple or a cap take, neither of which excites me too much. I'm interested to see if purple is going to re-break me, if he's going to bot, or if he's just going to try to slam the capital, trade in early, try to slam the capital. I'm not really sure, but this should be a lesson to purple. I wouldn't have actually even considered breaking him here if he didn't break me, and I wouldn't have considered breaking him if I knew he had troops on capital, but I explicitly knew he did not have troops on capital because we saw his cap stack attack off, and then we saw the fortify come from the left over to the right-hand side. So it never stopped on the capital. Nothing ever remained there. And as such, it doesn't make much sense for me to play nice in that scenario. So we will get 10 troops here, which is nice. I'm going to actually put 2 over here. And the reason behind that is I want to see what is next to pink. I want to confirm what is next to the pink player. So purple has botted. That is 4 cards worth. It is just pink next to pink. So that is good to know that he's not harvesting anything back there. I believe I had a trade-in. Yeah, we got an artillery trade and the Joker, which will come in handy later on. Not surprised purple quit. Purple player, if you ever end up watching this video, I recommend highly to leave troops on your capital. The only time I think it's safe to not leave troops on a cap is in a fixed cards game where you have such a troop generation advantage where you know that an opponent is not going to be able to get past your big stack, or more commonly, it's a pocket cap scenario where you are capped behind somebody else. You have taken their capital. That is a 1-point hold. There's no reason to keep troops behind that typically, because you want your furthest up cap to have the majority of the defense. And in this scenario, you were not strong enough to defend against a break, and so I broke. Now white still getting 8. I wonder if he made a play on the red cap down here. Black seemingly has not yet. Still getting 8. Might soon, though. Start generating 5 more troops per turn, taking that capital and the +3 at the bottom of the board. By the way, if you guys are enjoying Tier List Tuesday, if you're enjoying the videos in general, I would encourage you to hit that like button, subscribe if you have not already. We're having a real good time making content lately, and I appreciate everybody coming out. And I want to give a shout out to recent subscribers, Adrian A., Evan Glass, and Matt McCarley. I believe I pronounced that correctly. If you guys want to shout out an upcoming video, all you got to do is subscribe. Make sure you have public subscriptions on. I'll give you the shout out that you deserve. As the pink player just takes his card and chills. He's got the purple kill here available. Interesting that he wouldn't take it yet. I think taking it next turn makes a little bit more sense. I'd like to just start traversing a bit of the board to see how much it's going to end up being. Pink is playing very cautious. I do think that pink is better than my initial assessment of them. Purple's actually back. So they briefly botted. They have returned. It may just lead to another bot out. Very common here. So looks like we're going to experience another bot out here. No worries. Yeah. I'm not sure why you even returned there, but all right. Gonna continue taking where I can. Get a +2 up in Persia. That will be our fortify. This cap I want considerably weaker than my other one, just because positionally it's not very good. My Saudi Arabia cap I think is much more valuable. White is getting 14. Wow, he took the +6 Central Africa, and nobody did anything to him. I don't get the impression that white is the strongest player, and that's mostly driven by the fact they're going to hit my 2 here. Really? No, they're going to hit. Oh, they're going to hit. I don't want them to hit purple, though. Don't hit purple. Darn. I didn't want them to hit purple because I wanted that to be like a hidden spot. I do wonder if pink knows how weak this cap is. He's going to hit my 2. He's going for an additional bonus here. Oh, white is not the strongest player in the world. That is disappointing. Okay, good to know. Now, there was a purple 4 down here in Zambia. There's a chance that that has been hit. Although black is getting 13. So as mentioned previously, he would get 5 additional troops here. Was getting 8 before. So black has Southern Africa and East Africa. White has West Africa and Central Africa. Has not yet taken this over here, but clearly pressing some additional troops. Now, I do think that was likely pretty costly for black to try to take. You know, it was a 6 cap, additional material down here. Maybe not super costly, but with their trade-in, only getting 8 troops a turn, trying to defend their cap, etc. Probably not the cheapest maneuver in the world. They did actively let white hold here, which I think is very interesting. Is this just a purple? That's annoying. I don't see, this is now we're branching into the realm of I'm not understanding your play. And what I mean by that is the pink player just watched... Pink just watched white and black get 14 and 13 troops respectively and chose to break me instead. So again, I'm not sure I really understand that. I don't plan on taking cards here, but yeah, now white's getting 15 because he just took 4 more territories. Or 3, well, 3 more wouldn't cross the threshold. Must have been 4 more. And pink, yeah, pink's just being a little bizarre now. Seeing white stacking on something. I don't know what's over in here. I'd like to hit here. I wish that pink didn't break me. Did I get a dude? I did get a dude. I could hunt the elimination here, although it is only the 12 trade, so I don't really want to take purple's cards yet. Yeah, this on a small map like this, white pushing for an additional bonus here is very strange to me. I would be super duper surprised to see that hold. Now, I don't think they hit pink on Western Sahara there. I think they only rolled my territory in the red territory, which is really, really interesting. Black, meanwhile, has likely at least partially closed off their cap in here. I imagine at some point they open up red. So I'm eyeing the elimination on purple, but I don't want to go for it early when it's not cost effective for me. Black actually eliminates red there. I'd prefer not to close my cap off, but I think they just took this bonus, and I don't want to be the one to hit them. But I think that just hitting pink here, closing off the cap on that spot is probably fine. My top cap is still open, so hit here. I'm going to dump everything up here on this particular turn. I don't think trading in is worthwhile for me right now. Taking the purple elimination on this next turn would be worthwhile. I think pink is going to do it. I think pink takes the purple elimination here, which is fine. I don't have a particular issue with that. But I didn't want to take it then. I don't know. It's a weird trade-off because I think I just lose however many cards I get back. But I guess I do get an additional card off of that maneuver. You know, I get 4 instead of 3. If it was only 3, like there's 5 here, there's 5 here, there's probably at least 5 here. I probably lose more than I gain. And all it does is give my opponents higher trade-ins. This turn, if nobody takes, if pink does not take purple on this turn, I will absolutely take it myself. He won't be able to eliminate me. He's now dropping the laughing emojis. I do find it a little weird that these two aren't breaking each other at all, but maybe it's a kind of just a positionally agreed upon situation. I feel like black would have had a very good opportunity to kind of mess up white much earlier than white was able to take these bonuses. His cap doesn't defend the Nigeria bonus, definitely doesn't defend or the Nigeria territory in that bonus. Black's getting 18. We'll trade in for 20. No, 15. We'll trade in for 15. Likely breaks me because it's either me or it's white. And he hasn't hit white at all. I'd like to be proven wrong here, but I unfortunately don't think I'm going to. Although I didn't hit him. I had the opportunity to hit him. We're letting him get 18 troops. Oh, he's going to hit white. Wow. Okay. This is an interesting time to do it because you wait until white trades and then you hit him. But if you only break him in the one spot, I think you're going to get rebroken. Yeah, there you go. So if you guys, I've had a lot of comments on the channel lately about board vision and particularly attacking through the fog. I think pink kills purple here, by the way. Pretty much a no-brainer in my opinion. You should see it trickle over here. Trade him in. Well played. Thought about going for it earlier. Don't inherently hate it going to pink. We know he won't be able to kill me, so breaks white right off the bat. See, that I think is a mistake. I think immediately using those troops to break somebody, I just don't love that. I am going to leave this cap open. I don't know that he got white's cap off of that. Maybe he did. We're not going to hit black. Here. And because he just opted to use all of those troops, I don't know. It's very interesting. It seems black broke him on the bottom, so black is very strong. I almost want black to open me up. That's part of the reason why I could have hit him, I guess. I have a trade on 3. If pink goes to 5, the trade's rapidly increasing here. If black opens me, we could potentially double tap pink, take his 5 cards. Positionally, his cap is probably second best on the board. White's retaliation here is not going to be very fruitful. You got to get the 10 back on cap. Seems like he did not reaggress black, so black will still get 18 here. Because I chose to take this card, I don't actually, yeah, he does go back to cap. Black actually getting 19, no less. He does trade early. This may be an elimination on white, actually, for 4 cards, which does not trade black in, but I think black has a good enough defense over their position where they probably get this kill and then potentially live unless pink sets in and tries to eliminate him. We'll have to see how the cap numbers shift, because if black takes a capital here, it will be a... if black takes a capital, it will be 3 for him. We will see it shift because we know he has 2 down below. I also have 2, so we wouldn't ever see it change if the 2 cap owners are changing hands. But black also a 4-point hold up top. He did trade early here. Pink is attacking with material we cannot see. Black did not open me. 57 plus 40. Could feed him to white, worst case. Best case, we get good enough dice to kill him. I'm feeling a little aggressive here, guys. I honestly am. He's on 5 cards. It's going to be a little dicey. What is this roll? 76? That is why we went for it. Trade this. Now I'm going to do something interesting here where we put 4 troops here. We're going to put the rest on cap. I'm going to see if I can roll his capital before I try to do anything. Black's not on a set. 31. We cannot roll that capital. We're right back to 3 cards. So it's unfortunate for pink, but I think positionally that was the right choice. And if white aggresses me here, we obviously still have the 60 cap on the side for reconvening. He may come and try to take a cap off of me. And I managed to retain the Joker. Or actually, I used the Joker, got the Joker right back. I'm interested to see, though, is he mad at me? Because I did just go and get pink, right? That was the main goal here. Is he going to split a couple up? Okay, he splits down to hit me. He's absolutely not going to eliminate me. If he rolls the cap, he loses the game. Certainly loses the game. I'll just tell him well played so he backs off. That usually works. But he could see my fortify before, I thought. Yeah, the 80... Does the 80 not back up? The 80 backs up. Okay. So he is defending his capital now. We took pink out, and I believe getting the 5 cards, we got great dice on that cap, by the way. I was hoping for it. 76% roll went -8. That's pretty crazy. But I thought that pink was, of these 3 opponents, I believe that pink is the strongest opponent. Does he keep going here? Yeah. I'm going to leave this. I need to go look at his capitals. I know I have a trade in. I'm just going to go look. Neither of these guys are on a set. That is very, this is crazy down here. This is really well played. I don't think he has any troops on the bottom cap, though. I don't really care if he paths up to the cap at the top. That's easy to card block, and it's not very good. I needed to check this. So black is very strong right now. That is something to keep in mind here. I need to not get teamed on, though. He might just stop here and leave me down below. Yeah, well played. A trade without the Joker. No trade without the Joker. I don't really want to set. Trades are 55. Doesn't help me much. This is a lot of troops off cap for black. Or for white, I mean. Still getting 15. What did I get on that last turn? I only got 14. But I do trade in. Well, I don't even know that I trade in after him anymore. Blocks his cap off. I think I can make a play on black here. That's a set without the Joker. That's what I wanted. All right, so if black doesn't trade on 3 here, I'll have back-to-back sets. We play off our 78. We break all of his stuff. We hit his 50. We take his bottom cap. We let him play off of his strong cap here and just hope that he absolutely tries to devastate me as much as he can. Because, again, I think in this case, I think black is the better player than white. White's holding so many troops off cap right now. His cap is locked. He's not that threatening, all things considered. Even with a trade in here, I don't think he'd be able to do all that much. So this is an interesting scenario, though. I took out who I deemed to be the strongest of my opponents here. Presumably, white just takes his bonus back. I don't care. I don't have either of these bonuses, so him coming up here does nothing. I didn't have this anyway. I mean, I guess this does give me a card. Also opens my 78 up to the left. Now, if black trades here, it's a whole nother story, right? I think I can devastate him pretty effectively off of my own trade-in. Maybe even bait him into rolling the 21 cap, something like that. No sense trying to go for an elimination here. We leave our cap open because that's what's smart. 53 should be okay over here on the left unless black tries to come roll it. But I think that black needs to be the target here. Take the +2 on Algeria. There is that capital for free. And we go back to cap here. So we don't aggress white. Defend everything. Risky maneuver because he is going to trade in to match me, but we have a trade in response. That was essentially the idea here. Try to get him to roll as much of my stuff as possible to think that he has the elimination on me or something like that. Because now you see white is actually taking down some more of black's material. I left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 9, 10, 11, 12. He actually had 12 territories before that. I only left 20 here because, again, I don't really care that much about this capital. It's about chipping down black, and I don't think white is much of an opportunist here. So we should see black set early. That's exactly what I'm hoping for, and I would love him to roll double capital here. If he can roll the 20 and the 43, play off the 55 on the left-hand side, we're going to have to hit a little bit of white that gets pretty much perfect dice on that capital. If we can get him to roll the 43 as well, that's where we stand a chance here. Again, just got to make sure we don't open up white's capital on a retaliatory play. going to break in here. We need him to roll this. Hopefully lose like 80. Loses 91. That should be curtains on the black player here. And we just got to make sure that white cannot cap run afterwards. If he opens by 21, we could probably just play off of that. Roll it. Rolling this would be crazy. That is a, yeah, he has lost the game. That is an absolute loss. Now I just need to make sure I leave enough troops on capital off of my own trade in here. He has no troops on anything, so actually, we're going to wrap underneath here. I'm going to pull troops off the 55. White will be able to get some here, but we're back on 3 cards. So he actually may be able to take several caps here. I still think I can beat him in a 1v1. He's slow. He was slower than black. Less decisive. Much slower with the troop placement as well. That was actually considerably fast. All things considered from before. Black actually could have kept me in check there. Instead, he continued rolling stuff. After he took this, he should have stopped. I don't think I would have been able to eliminate him after that. White loses 5 on a 1. That is a slider problem. That will be so glad when that stuff is fixed. He actually can path this well. He'll hit the 1, 3, 10, 1. And it looks like he's following that cadence here. Actually, it's the 10 first. Loses 15. 17 even. Goes back to the right. Yeah, moving slowly. I'll be able to take... Loses 22 out of 15. That's tough for me. Almost stepped fully off there. We'll be able to retake this down here. I'm not going to let him hold. I'm actually not going to let him hold any bonuses now. He does possibly have a trade on 3. So if you're wondering why take all those extra territory, I'm just trying to get his troop count down. If he's got a set on 3 here, he may be able to eliminate me. But he'd have to distribute pretty effectively. Is that a trade on 3 for me? It is not. Or trade on 4. I do not have a trade on 4. That is not good. We do break everything of his. He's getting 8. That's double capital in 12 to 14 territories. I'm not particularly getting the impression that he's going to path this out correctly or break enough. We will just re-break 7 into the Nigeria. Yeah, oh my, that is leaving me with way too many troops here. Even if he pulls a bunch off cap. He actually goes back into capital with his 11. That's surprising. I'm not going to put anything else other than the Algeria capital here. I am going to take a couple more territories here. The trades are worth 75, so he shouldn't be able to get everything here. And we actually are going to take this bonus here. Just sneak it. Again, I think white was a little too passive, and unfortunately for pink and black, I recognized fairly early that white was not the strongest caps player, and certainly not the strongest progressive cards player, because you can tell he's, with all of this bonus defense here, very much more playing for the bonus takes rather than open capitals, open cards, etc. Trades on 4, so we'll have a response trade here ourselves. And again, this would be very, very lucky to be able to full cap run here. After you hit the 15, then you have to hit the 51. Loses 19 out of 15. 84 on 51 likely doesn't end up getting you the 7 and the 10 afterwards. Especially not with the white player's speed. So this is a lot of troops. Hopefully we can just catch this completely off capital. He's already off of one of the caps. Got to defend your capitals, guys. have to leave some troops behind. Make it at least somewhat not worth your opponent's while to come hit you. Maybe he'll be lucky enough to come end on a cap like he did on that earlier turn. It's looking like he's trending in that direction, but he might just be a territory short here. He's actually 2 territories short. And now we trade in. We'll clean the entire bottom of the board and force him to basically come hit us up top. Swing this bad boy over here. I don't think that's an additional trade on 3. It is, actually. What did we trade last turn? We traded... it doesn't tell me. All right. I didn't realize I had an artillery already. Because I thought I had double... I just got a horse, didn't I? I thought I had double dude, double horse last turn, but I must have traded the dude trades? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know what I traded, but this is we're wrapping this up. A solid game on Africa, honestly. I think I played this one pretty well. I can definitely see the faults of this map. Black did try to hold this in a way where he had the huge stack off cap. Unfortunately, didn't defend enough away from cap. White, weirdly aware enough of the ability to slow roll, and yet some of the other mechanics of his game just not the most impressive, unfortunately. But there's always room for improvement. That's what I say. And White didn't play an irritating game. He tried his best, and I think that that's something important, worth recognizing. So let's see if we can't take his cap. 100% roll. I'm not going to bother world dumbing this player. Good game. Well played. And a big old thumbs up to you, sir. I like how he said oops like this wasn't going to be a 100% roll. We do take the win on Africa Advanced. Again, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, go ahead and do all the business, the subscribe and the like in the video and sticking around. And we'll place this bad boy on our tier list in just a moment. Ranks of my opponents. I was correct. Pink was our strongest opponent. A handful of beginners in purple, black, and white, and a novice in red who quit right away. Let's swap this bad boy over to our other monitor to take a look. Unfortunately, the ad blocker does not work on this site. I don't know why. So sorry about the Olay and Adobe and Labalvi ads, but we do have Africa Advanced here. I've got Africa in the C tier. Africa Advanced is basically just slightly better Africa. I don't even know that I like it better than Britannia. I think it's just slightly, it's quite literally slightly better Africa. It still suffers from the same 2-point mega hold at the bottom of the board that is very, very powerful in the early game. Black didn't inherently leverage it correctly. Red could have capped next to black, and then that would have been an absolute power hold, but they chose to cap in a significantly worse position. It's not an inherently bad map, but I do enjoy all of the other advanced maps in this map pack more. So that's where I'm going to put it. Solid spot. You can just look at the map here. I've pulled it up. Congo and Tanzania, again, those two spots, just incredibly powerful. If you've got a blizzard in any of those spots, the 1-point hold on either side is so incredibly strong. And so I think that is the biggest flaw with the map. We managed to avoid that here today, and we didn't even have to get into a card blocking scenario just because of how aggressive we were able to play. But that is something that this map is very easy to do on, is card block. I think it's just a little too confined. As far as next week's maps, we will be taking a look at the Enchanted Realms map pack. So Overworld, Seagrog's Fortress, Moonstone Forest, and Trigon's Labyrinth to wrap that map pack up. We'll be starting with Overworld, which is a very, very large map, and reviewing that next week. If you guys enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. As always, everybody, I've been C-Money. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a tremendous rest of your day. Peace.